Have you ever stopped to think about the importance of long-term financial planning? In the Gospel of Luke 14, Jesus gives us a powerful lesson on counting the cost before starting any endeavor. He talks about a man who wants to build a tower, and the first step is to calculate if he has the necessary resources to complete it. This advice is directly applicable to our personal finances. Without planning, we risk starting something we cannot finish, which can lead to significant financial difficulties in the future. Are we doing the same in our finances? In this video, we will explore how the teachings of Luke 14 show us the importance of planning for the future, preparing for the unexpected, and ensuring a safer and more prosperous financial life. We will discuss practical strategies for counting the cost in all areas of financial life, from saving for emergencies to investing wisely. If you want to achieve financial stability and avoid the pitfalls of debt, this content is for you. So, grab a coffee, sit comfortably, and subscribe to the channel for more videos on how to apply biblical advice to your finances. I'm sure you've wondered why some people always seem to be prepared for any financial situation, while others drown in unexpected debt. The answer often lies in planning, or the lack thereof. Have you ever wondered why some people always seem to be prepared for any financial situation, while others drown in unexpected debt? The answer often lies in planning, or the lack of it. In the Gospel of Luke 14, Jesus tells the parable of a man who wants to build a tower. He asks if the man should not first sit down and estimate the cost, to see if he has enough money to complete it. This ancient advice remains incredibly relevant in today's financial world. The truth is, financial planning is more than just saving money. It's about understanding possible future scenarios and being prepared for them. When you don't plan, you are essentially building a tower without knowing if you have the resources to finish it. This can lead to serious problems, like overwhelming debt or even bankruptcy. People often underestimate the impact of unexpected events, like medical emergencies or job loss, on their finances. Without a contingency plan, these situations can quickly turn into crises. The act of counting the cost is not just a prudent practice, it's a necessity. An interesting fact is that studies show that people who engage in financial planning are more likely to achieve their financial goals and feel secure about their future. This is because planning helps create a clear map of what is necessary to reach certain goals, whether it's buying a house, investing in children's education, or retiring comfortably. Moreover, long-term financial planning allows you to make more informed decisions aligned with your values and goals. Instead of reacting impulsively to changes in circumstances, you'll be prepared to face challenges with confidence and purpose. Luke 14's teaching on counting the cost is not just about caution. It's about wisdom and intention. When we apply this principle to our financial lives, we begin to see our finances not as a game of chance, but as a well-calculated endeavor. So why do so many people still fail to plan properly? Is it a matter of discipline, or is there something deeper? Let's explore how ignoring the future can be a fatal mistake, a clear lesson from Luke 14. Ignoring long-term financial planning is like building a house on sand. It may seem like a good idea initially, but it only takes a small storm for everything to collapse. Luke 14 warns us about the importance of fully assessing our resources and goals before starting any significant project. In the financial context, this means not only understanding our current expenses and income, but also anticipating and preparing for future and unforeseen expenses. Most people underestimate the impact of factors such as inflation, economic changes, and unexpected expenses. For example, a recent study revealed that about 60% of people do not have enough savings to cover a 6-month emergency. This is alarming, considering how much unexpected situations can affect our financial stability. Another common mistake is assuming that tomorrow will be the same as today. However, sudden changes like job loss, an economic crisis, or even a global pandemic can drastically alter our financial situation. Luke's advice to count the cost is a perfect metaphor for the need to be prepared for the unexpected. What many people fail to realize is that financial planning is not a one-time activity, but an ongoing process. As our lives and circumstances change, our financial plans must also adapt. Without this flexibility, even the best plans can fail. Additionally, there's a psychological factor. Many people avoid thinking about finances out of fear or anxiety. This is understandable but dangerous. Avoiding financial planning is like ignoring a persistent pain. It may seem easier in the moment, but it usually leads to bigger problems in the future. Luke 14's teachings challenge us to face these fears and take a proactive approach to our future. Counting the cost is more than just calculating numbers. It's an exercise in honesty with oneself and with what is truly necessary to achieve our goals. Now that we understand what not to do, the question is, how can we apply Luke 14's teachings to develop a solid financial plan? Let's explore some practical strategies. First, it's essential to set clear and measurable financial goals. Without defined objectives, it's impossible to know what it means to count the cost effectively. For example, if your goal is to retire at 60, you need to calculate how much money will be required to maintain your desired lifestyle. After setting goals, the next step is to create a realistic budget that accounts for all your expenses and income. Luke 14 teaches us that we cannot overlook any detail. Everything must be accounted for, from large expenses like mortgages and loans to small daily expenses. An effective technique for financial planning is the use of emergency reserves. Luke 14 speaks about being prepared for all costs. Similarly, an emergency fund is essential for dealing with unforeseen expenses without compromising your long-term financial goals. Another fundamental strategy is regular investing. Instead of spending all your income, Luke 14 inspires us to count the cost and invest wisely for the future. Regular investments, even small ones, can grow significantly over time due to compound interest. It's equally important to regularly review and adjust your financial plan. What Luke 14 shows us is that we need to be constantly assessing our position and ready to make adjustments as needed. Your financial situation today may be different 5 years from now, so the plan needs to be flexible and adaptable. Financial education is another important pillar. Many people fail to count the cost because they lack sufficient knowledge about finances. Attending courses, reading books, and consulting experts can make a big difference in your ability to plan adequately. Remember that financial planning is a journey, not a destination. Luke 14's teaching on building a tower reminds us that each step must be carefully considered, and that success comes to those who are diligent and prudent. So, how can we really apply these principles to our daily lives? Turning biblical advice into practical financial actions may seem challenging, but with the right strategies, it is entirely achievable. First, consider the idea of living below your means. This is advice that echoes through Luke 14, where counting the cost doesn't mean spending everything we have, but rather living prudently and mindfully. This may involve tough choices, like cutting unnecessary expenses or delaying large purchases until you've saved enough. Secondly, it's vital to prioritize paying off debt. Just as in building a tower, it's essential to start with a solid foundation. High-interest debt can quickly become unmanageable, so addressing it with urgency is crucial. Luke 14 reminds us not to start something without first considering all the costs, including the costs of debt. Third, start investing in assets that can generate future income. Just as the builder of the tower must consider total costs, we must consider the potential for growth and income from our investments. This can include stocks, real estate, or even education and skills that will increase your earning potential in the future. Another important point is to seek guidance and advice. Luke 14 shows us the importance of careful planning, and a key part of that is getting advice from experts. Whether through a financial advisor, mentor, or even educational programs, learning from those with more experience can prevent many mistakes. The importance of patience and consistency should also not be underestimated. Luke 14 speaks of an endeavor that takes time and resources. Similarly, building wealth and financial security is a slow and steady process. Regular investing, consistent saving, and avoiding impulsive spending are keys to long-term success. Finally, be grateful and use your resources wisely. Luke 14 teaches us about the importance of being aware of our resources and using them in ways that reflect our values and goals. This means not only spending and investing wisely, but also using our resources for the greater good, such as helping others or supporting meaningful causes. By applying these principles, we can turn ancient advice into modern practices that help us achieve financial stability and peace of mind. In conclusion, long-term financial planning is more than a strategy. It's a commitment to your future. Luke 14's advice on counting the cost offers us a solid foundation to build our finances, ensuring we are prepared for whatever comes. By following these principles, we can avoid common financial pitfalls and position ourselves for a more prosperous and stable life. Remember, the financial future you desire begins with the decisions you make today. Be prepared, be diligent, and never underestimate the power of a good financial plan. If this content touched you positively, leaving a like is the best way to express your gratitude and encourage us to produce more content like this. I also invite you to share the greatest lesson you learned from this video. Leave a comment with your reflection or something that touched you in a special way. I would feel very honored and happy to know how this message impacted your life. See you in the next video.